Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So today we're going to discuss polarizing books because for me, there's literally nothing better than reading a book that almost half people hate, half people love. Like, I love that shit. Because most of the time I fell in the middle. So I'm just like, oh, look, I didn't hate it, I didn't love it. There's something that I really like doing. So today, let's just discuss polarizing books. So first and foremost, we're going to start with one of my favorite books, which is I'm Thinking of Ending Things. I think this is probably one of the most polarizing books ever because it's a really tricky book. You know, the main premise is that this couple are going into his parents' house to just meet them for the first time, and she's just like, I should end it up. I should end things with Jake. She's just like with this idea on her mind all the time, and things start getting really like weird and nonsensical, and it's great. I thought it was a fucking fantastic ride, but I can really understand why some people are just like, nah, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Yeah, I get that. For me, this one was one of those that is just like, this is perfect. I was super engaged. It took me a little bit of time to understand it. Not gonna lie, like, yeah, I had to check some things, but I think it's one of these books that is great at explaining, but not explaining really everything on the book. I just really like this one. By the way, the adaptation is garbage, so don't watch that. Like, it starts off great, but it just makes the book more confusing, which, what the fuck? But yeah, I don't recommend that, not at all. So I think in the same kind of vein as this one, we have Annihilation by Jeff Vandermeer, which is another book that I love. I'm roasting my face a little bit here, but still, I think Annihilation is one of these books that if it's read by someone that needs all the answers, it's going to get a negative rating, and I can 100% understand that. I'm a person who likes to have all the loose ends like solved by the end of the book, but when the story is crafted greatly, even though we don't get the whole like answer to everything, I'm fine with it. Annihilation was such a mind fuck that I'm fine not getting the whole answers in this book. The problem is that you don't get them on the sequels either. That's a bit of a problem. I'm just going to pretend that only Annihilation exists. That's it. But I really like this one. I just thought that it was such a smart book. Like, damn. Contrary to I'm Thinking of Ending Things, I really like the adaptation on Netflix for this book. I really like it. I think it's quite different from the source material, even though the main structure is the same. I don't know, I just like them separately. I don't think it's like the perfect adaptation of anything like that, but I just really like it as a movie. And I think that it adapted great things that Annihilation has and added some new ones that were fucking creepy. And that, A+. But yeah, I can understand why some people don't love this. I love it. I gave it 5 stars also. Like, I'm Thinking of Ending Things, so yeah. Oh, let's just talk about this one because I don't have it physically. The Night Circus, which is weird to have this here because it's a really beloved book. But you see it, the thing is, I don't love this book. So that's what I'm including here. With time, I've discovered that many people actually don't like this book, but we're just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to lay low and that's it. Let me explain what I don't like this book. I need plot in my books, and this doesn't have enough plot for me. I think The Night Circus is beautifully constructed, you know, like it's beautiful, it's a beautiful book. But I just don't care about beautiful books, you know. The only beautiful book that comes to mind that I love is Strange the Dreamer and Muse of Nightmares. Those two I adore, but they have a plot that's moving forwards throughout the whole duology. So that I can really enjoy. But The Night Circus, I just didn't really like that it didn't have any plot. And the ending, it was just like, oh, done, move on. Okay, I guess. I was really into it in the beginning. Like, I was just like, oh, this is great, this is great. But then my enjoyment just went downhill really fast. This one I felt mostly in the middle. I don't hate it, but I won't say I like it. Like, it's fine. It's fine. It's probably like 3-star read. I think I gave it 4 stars because I was afraid of people back then hating me for not loving the Night Circus, but it's definitely a 3 stars. Like, definitely a 3-star book for me. Sorry that I shit on your favorite book. So let's just go with another one that I love, but many people don't like. Like, they really don't. Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. You see, the thing is, I think this book is polarizing mostly because a lot of people go into this book not knowing what it's actually about, because it's really sold wrongly. Thor really did dirty to this book. Like, oh yeah, it's Hogwarts with the murder mystery, and it's not. That is just like, that is not the plot of this book at all. That's just like the first 20 pages where we follow the main character, and yeah, she is asked by her sister to help her in her magical school because someone died. But that's just the context of the story. Actually, our main character doesn't have magic, so there's not a lot of magic in this book, like barely anything, to be precise. So I think a lot of people go into this book with the wrong idea, and that really taints their enjoyment of this book. I was really lucky because one of my friends, Monica, really told me what this book was about. When I bought it, was just like, oh my god, this is one of my favorite books. Don't listen to any of that shit. This is actually about this. And I was like, okay. And I thoroughly enjoyed this. It's not one of my favorite books of all time, but it's actually a really good book. It's been marketed so badly. Like, the person that did the marketing for this book should be fired. Like, really. Why? I think this has like a 3.6 on Goodreads or even lower. It's just like, so, like, no. Like, why? But no! This is actually a great story about, you know, surpassing expectations, learning to live with others' expectations on us. And it's great. It's actually great. And I'm so sad that it's getting so much like negative buzz because it's not a bad book. I have here another one of my favorites. God, I have so many of my favorite books here. I definitely lean more towards I just love this polarizing book than the others, except 2, I believe. This is The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. This is a pretty old YA. Well, it's not YA. Is this considered YA? I don't think so. I don't think so, actually. But the thing is, the first and second books are great in this series, are fantastic. But the ending of this series, this trilogy, is absurd, and I get why so many people are angry with this, because I'm angry too. I'm so fucking angry with this ending. Like, holy shit. I actually threw the damn book across the damn bedroom because I was just like, no, I'm not having this. There's so much suffering throughout this series, especially for the main character, and she just gets like really butt kicked at the end, like, oh, fuck you, Kelsey. Like, no, I'm not here for that. Like, no. So I understand. I still love this series a lot. It's one of my favorite series of all time. I love the main character. She has such an incredible arc. Like, she feels so real. It's amazing. But the ending is just bad. The ending is bad. It's awful, and I understand why so many people hate this series now. Like, I understand. I don't share it, but I understand. Then we have a book that has been getting a lot of buzz lately because of its adaptation on Netflix, and this is Behind Her Eyes by Sarah Pembroke. I actually love this one too. I understand. There's a sci-fi element, well, kind of magical element here that many people don't like, because it does play a great part on how the book is resolved. This is a thriller book, so I understand a lot of people really like to, you know, have the clues just right in front of them and being able to figure out who the bad guy is for saying something. And I get that. With this book, it's really hard to tell that. I just fucking loved it. I thought it was such a great like twist on an otherwise really fucking boring like thriller, because without this movie is such a just like average mystery thriller, like so average. I'm so glad that element is in here. I really liked it. The fucking ending of this book is just so sad, so bittersweet, like it'll slap you in the face right across, because it's great. I love the ending. I love the ending. I love it in a way that I thought it was super clever, but I hate it. But I hate it in a way that, why? Like, why? Everything was fine. So yeah, it's great. I highly recommend this one, actually. Just give it a try. It's really like a hit or miss for most people. There are a lot of misses, but I just love this. Then we have one that I fell on the I just don't really like it category. This is Rosewater by Tate Thompson, and you see, I love the concept of this book. I think it's fantastic, but I just don't understand this book. And on the contrary with I'm Thinking of Ending Things or Annihilation, I just didn't like the main character. So if we just add not liking the main character with not understanding a thing, I just don't have anything to grab into besides the premise. Because basically in this one we have like a biodome in Nigeria, an alien biodome that gives people powers, and that is so fucking cool. But everything deviated a lot from that, in my opinion. Though the ending, that just clicked on my mind. I really like the ending of this book. Fuck. There's this great discovery at the ending of the book. Fuck. I should really get the sequel now. Damn it. Yeah, I didn't remember that. This main story, didn't like it. I will definitely get it. I think it's Insurrection, the next one, if I'm remembering correctly. But I do really want to get that one to see if it's maybe that I just wasn't in the right place. I just didn't like this one, and maybe the rest is easier. Maybe it's because of that, I don't know. But I will read the second one and then figure out what I'm going to do, because I've been eyeing this one being just like, should I get rid of it? Should I not get rid of it? Now that I think about that ending was fucking great. Damn it, now I need to read the second one. Fuck. But basically, yeah, the polarizing aspect of this book is that many people just don't like the main character, don't understand the story, and are just like, whoa, this is incredible. It's really like a similar thing with I'm Thinking of Ending Things. It's that kind of polarizing, you know, like, I understand it, I don't, I like it, I didn't. That's it. Then talking about shitty main characters. Let's just talk about I almost said the Grace of Kings, but no. The Rage of Dragon by Evan Winter. You see, I love the world of this book. I freaking adore the magic in this book. I fucking hate the main character of this book because he's so fucking annoying. He's so fucking annoying and he's so stupid. I just can't fucking handle him. Like, some people compare Tao with Talien from The Wolf of Oranjaro. No way. Like, no way. She makes some pretty stupid decisions, but it's nowhere close. The dumb shit that this guy does. Like, nowhere close. Nowhere close. Basically, the main aspect that everyone is just like, I love this, I hate this, is the main character. I've been able to read this one and the second one, Fires of Vengeance, because my love for the world and magic, but how is just so damn annoying. Like, so damn annoying. I just fucking can't with him. Like, he's so fucking stupid. I can't. That's it. That's the polarizing aspect of this book. Like, Tao is just so fucking dumb. Like, every time that I think about him, I'm just like, he's so stupid. He's so stupid. Like, no. I just love this world so much. I will continue reading, and I will read the third one, because the magic is just so fascinating. I love it. But Tao is just so stupid. I just can't. So getting into the last three ones, I'm not going to bash this book because this is one of my favorites of all time, but The Grace of Kings by King Liu. You see, the main problem most people have with this book is that it's really slow. And it is. It actually is. But I love it because I think it's the type of slow that you need for this story. It's a story that takes place during many years. Ken Liu just really takes his time doing this. And for that I applaud him, because this book is fucking great. You should check out why you should read The Grace of Kings up here. But yeah, most of the reviews that I've seen of people that didn't like it, just, I DNF this. This was so boring. This just, yeah, it's a war that takes its time developing. Like, yeah, there are not just like all the huge battles. There are a lot of, you know, character development and strategy and what the hell we're going to do with this. Great. this book is great. I'm not accepting any of this criticism. I can understand it, but I refuse. Like, nope, nope. This one, I mostly fell in the middle, but you see, I kind of understand both sides here. This is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir, and hear me out. Again, as with Magic for Liars, this book I thought was marketed really badly. Like, this is mostly sold as a science fiction book, and yeah, this is set on space, but the sci-fi elements here are basically non-existent. So don't sell this like huge space opera, like science fiction books, lesbian necromancer space, when you barely have any space on it. That will sell the book to the wrong market. And I know a lot of people that basically only read sci-fi that got this book and were just like, no. And then I know a lot of people that don't read science fiction, that read mostly fantasy, got this and were just like, this is fucking amazing. And completely understandable, because this for me is a fantasy. I get that it's set on space, but still for me it's science fantasy. Like, the most prominent genre for me here is fantasy. With that mindset, I went into this book and I was actually able to enjoy it. I didn't love it because sometimes the humor was a little bit too cringy for me. But still, I thought this one was great. I also didn't love Gideon. I was more of a Harrow fan. So I'm actually really excited to get into the sequel. But still, I get it. I get both sides. Like, it was marketed really badly. Like, really badly. There's like magic and there's not even like an explanation. And they use swords and there's not even an explanation why they would use swords in fucking space. And the last one that I have here is actually one of my favorite books. This is the Traitor Baracorant by Seth Dickinson. I still have to continue with the series, but it's kind of a bit of a hard work series actually. It's just like complicated, you know, it has really complicated political intrigue and I love that, but you know, it takes a little bit too much of my brain power to follow these books. So I'm just getting a little bit, you know, relaxed before getting into the second book. But I love this book and I have only seen negative reviews for it. I think I only know like 2 people that like this one. I understand why it might not be for everyone. It's a really weird take on colonization and, you know, conquering and everything actually. Like, it's weird. It's a weird book. But I really liked it. There's also a huge factor with the main character. I did like the main character here, but I understand that it's pretty unlikable for some people, and I get that. I get that. But I don't know, I just really like all the twists and I understand her motivations with all of this. So for me it was great, but I understand there's also a lot of talk about, you know, oh, let's just mess up with the economy and we will cut them. And I get that that's not for everyone, you know. And sometimes we just want like huge battles, people hitting each other, and that's it. We just don't give a fuck about the coin in this new empire, probably. But I love this. This book defines my taste in fantasy pretty accurately, actually. It's a little bit concerning with all the backstabbing that we have here. But still, I really, really like this one. Careful going into this one, because this is definitely the most like, not like book that I have in this list. But that was basically all my Polarizing books. If you have any Polarizing book, and if you have read any of these, please let me know where you fell on the spectrum, you know, like, hate. I really want to know, are you like me, like in the middle? I'm mostly like, I really like it, but I am also quite in the middle too. I just like don't hate any of these. But yeah, that's basically going to be all. So as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.